Hey everybody, welcome back to GS Talks. My name is Chris. I'm the host of this show, and welcome back. I know it's been a while since we've done anything on the channel. More content's coming out soon. I promise. That's not just a, it's one of these, making promises. I promised myself I would. Today's topic is Doctor Who Shattered Time, Scott's new series on Doctor Who. We talk everything about Doctor Who. So the guys are back. Justin, Scott, Ben, all the fellas. The original GSTV crew is back. And so we talk about why Scott wanted to do a series and how Ben's taken the character, separating from how he used to do Sherlock Holmes to Doctor Who. Lots of good questions like that, so stay tuned to the very end. Thank you, and see you guys next time. Here we go. What is up, people of the internet? Welcome back to GS Talks. We've got the whole crew here this time. It's summertime. It is hot. It is us. Scott, how you doing?
Hey, doing pretty good.
Nice cowboy hat, by the way.
Well, it's yours, so.
Justin, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. It's good to be back.
Ben?
It's good to be home.
Yes, indeed. So, for those you don't know, Ben, well, it's been a few weeks now. A few months. He's been back from school. Justin,
Yo.
fully recovered? How's your arm?
Functioning. Just ready to get back to filming.
Okay. Scott, plug your channel.
All right, my review channel, MP27 Reviews. I do movie and TV shows. Check it out. Probably tonight, got a review of that show, Ozark. Keep an eye on it. Broadchurch seasons 1 and 2 next week are coming to you.
Right on. Justin, you and I are starring in Holmes University 5. But
Yes.
since the injury,
Yeah, we were filming, and then I injured myself.
You want to explain real quick?
Well, we were filming an action scene. I was running. I was supposed to stop, but my foot didn't catch on the ground, and then I went flying into the air. I tried catching myself, and this loud crack came out of my shoulder. Went to the doctors. Oh, you got a sprained shoulder, and I haven't been able to really use it right.
Well, you're fully-ish recovered now.
Enough to film.
So we're going to be picking that back up in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, just about. I'm going to say, Scott, you would about 3 weeks,
about
right?
3 weeks, right?
Yeah, about 3 weeks.
So
3 weeks to the day.
Ben, during that time, during Justin's injury, you've been in a new project called
Doctor Who Shattered Time.
And Scott, you want to go into that?
Yeah.
Do you, what made you want to do a Doctor Who series?
I've wanted to do a Doctor Who series for a while, but I finally, probably a couple months back, started having a real conversation about it, because I'd written scripts and everything for a while, and I finally said, you know what, I think it's time that we're ready to do this. We upgraded all the equipment for it. We've shot it in 4K cinema quality. We really pulling out all the stops for it, which was a whole mess of new stuff.
That's news. 4K. Mm-hmm. Scott is officially in the 4K race of quality of content and all that stuff.
Yeah, 4K cinema quality for all of our stuff going past Holmes 5 will be 4K, which is awesome. I love it. And it was a whole terrifying experience, especially the first couple days.
All right, Ben, you and me, that both. I'm not part of. I'm part of the project, but I'm not in the project itself on screen. You and I were there on day one. Do you want to explain what happened on day one, the first official day?
We lost an entire day of filming.
And what was that reasoning, Scott?
That was because the solid state drive that the 4K camera uses couldn't keep up with the camera itself, so none of the memory units worked for the camera, so we could get a solid 3 seconds of shooting, and then it would cut off.
The frame drop, yeah.
Yeah.
But since then, the Blackmagic, right?
Oh, yeah.
Blackmagic has been working flawlessly.
Beautifully. I love it.
Right.
I love it.
Me and you have seen the dailies, and it's looking awesome.
The dailies look amazing. The only thing I haven't heard yet is the audio with the dailies.
Well,
that's because it doesn't have a speaker on it, right? The camera.
Yeah, the camera itself doesn't have a speaker on it. We have external audio that we're recording. We're also going to do a lot of redubbing. We're treating this like an actual television
so a lot
show.
Of ADR and all that stuff.
Yeah, so we're doing a lot of in the recording booth, ADR, that kind of stuff, getting the crisp quality of the audio, and just, I mean, it's a full-fledged television show for us at this point.
I mean, my biggest fear, honestly, with this new 4K filming for all of our projects from here on out is the audio won't match up in quality-wise. You know, like a good ramen. If the noodle's great but the broth is weak, it's just not a good bowl of
That's a
ramen.
good analogy.
That's nicely put. Nicely
I was going to
put.
say,
Put that in my back pocket.
well, if you want faith restored in it, I did for the shirt I'm wearing. One of my clients is running for the mayor of Kent, Washington, and the commercial that I did, getting really good buzz. Just about everybody in Kent has watched it, and that one was all 4K as well, and with all of that.
Can we find that video on your channel, or do we direct to Miss Ralph?
We go to DanaRalphForMayor.com, and that it's right on the front page. And we got a couple more ads going. We renewed some deals, so we got at least 3 more commercials coming your way.
GSTV Studios in no way strictly endorses Miss Dana Ralph. Scott is a strong supporter.
There you go. Thank you, Ben. I always need you.
I was
going to
say she's my boss in a way. So, yeah, and she's just a really cool person, and so I make her my endorsement to her public.
I
But
feel like you need to be talking in a southern accent.
I mean, I
Y'all.
could if you want. It's just
A little twang at the end.
Little
Sorry,
bit
that's
of
too
twang.
Oklahoma for me.
Not too Oklahoma.
Oh,
Well,
Oklahoma.
Well, your mom's in Oklahoma. Anyways, Ben, before we get to the actual story and making of that stuff, so you were Sherlock Holmes before in our series.
Yes, I was at one point.
And now Ben has taken that mantle. Kudos.
I've not taken that mantle.
I'm Justin, by the way.
Justin's
I'm
taking that
Justin.
mantle.
Hi, how y'all doing?
Yeah,
I'm
there you go.
Justin. I think I matter.
you do matter, Justin.
You do.
He's actually been Holmes longer than Ben was.
Yes, he
I've
has.
done more project at the very
Yeah,
least.
technically you're in more projects
Because
as Holmes
we
than Ben
did
has been.
3 and 4, and then we did the Christmas special,
Right.
and now we're going to be shooting 5.
Well, the biggest thing we've kind of got with Scott's projects is we'll all do a bunch of stuff, and then those of us who leave the area no longer matter to Scott. So he replaces us.
Don't you
Come
give
on,
me
I was
that.
messing with you when you were in school. Come on.
But no, this is great. I really
Well,
like
you
where
and me
Sherlock
would-
Holmes has gone, and Justin's doing a great job.
I do what I can.
But I was gonna go tie into that. Now you're the doctor.
Yes, now I'm the doctor.
So, question, kind of an interview-ish question to you is, how are you bringing something new to Doctor Who that hasn't been done in Sherlock Holmes?
Well, with Sherlock Holmes, I really went full on quirky, trying to, be a little dotty with how I was acting. And with where our doctor is, I have to be a lot more serious. Scott, more often than not, has been telling me to be angry. But not like I'm mad at you angry, like mad at the situation angry. And bringing that into my acting, it has been quite the challenge.
So my question to you is, do you ever find yourself kind of falling back into that little Holmes area?
I do, and then I'm sure Scott can vouch for this. When I do, I will purposefully mess up the shot so that we don't use that cut.
Yeah, there's times where it's like I'll just stop it and say, and cut, you went a little too Sherlock there. We need to backtrack. This is how I want you to do it. Because I want to make sure this isn't Holmes University with science fiction.
Yep.
It has to be its own thing.
The hardest thing with doing YouTube series like this is really, let's face it, I'm not going into acting. My little brother is. I'm not. I'm trying to become a veterinarian. So I am more or less a niche actor. And I need to really try to break out of that if I'm going to keep being in Scott's stuff.
Fair
Yeah,
enough. Good
and he's
choice.
doing a great job as the doctor. The second episode we shot, it's not going to be the second episode. The second episode is the one that he wrote.
Justin,
I thought that was going to be the 3rd.
Yeah,
Oh
mine's
no,
the second.
we're
we're reworking a little bit. Reworking the
I've
series?
moved the order like 5 or 6 times.
Oh, goodness.
So Justin, you were writing a script for the
yes,
show.
I did. Scott talked to me months ago saying, hey, I want you to write a script for Doctor Who. And I was actually in the middle of a project when he asked me to do it. I was working, because I write comics mostly, and I was working on a script for a comic. And then I was like, okay, I guess I'll give it a shot. I pitched my idea for the Ice Warriors, which is a villain I don't think is used very much in Doctor Who in general, so I figured I'd do the Ice Warriors.
I'm going to stop you right there because Ben's noticing your tattoo.
Justin, is that Gelfrain on your arm?
Yes, it is actually.
Oh, my goodness.
It actually is Gallifreyan.
Yep.
Yes, I have tattoos. All nerdy.
Yeah, he's got a Gallifreyan tattoo.
Which I think you have a shot in the new Holmes.
Yeah, in the new Holmes University,
Yeah,
there is
it
a
is.
shot
There's
of it.
an
Which is our-
inexplicable Gallifreyan
which is our
tattoo
dog.
on Sherlock Holmes.
Justin, have we told you the story about the brown pants?
I've been told the story of the brown pants.
So real quick,
many
because I want
times.
to go into that real quick. We'll get back to Who full time, but so the story of the Brown Pants started on Holmes University 2, the Longest Winter.
Was it in 2?
Yeah, it was the very before the end credits scene with Sam
Okay.
and Moriarty. where you're no, you're right. It wasn't the first one.
Yeah, it was the very first one.
End. The end, was it the end credits or was it before the end?
It was the end credits.
And
Yeah.
then you came in saying, "Watson, where are my brown pants?" And then we took it into the second one.
That's right. You were wearing that Batman
Yes, I
mask
was
in your
Batman.
underpants. You're like,
Didn't
have you
you-
seen my brown pants?
Because you actually stood outside. Didn't you say there was like a family that walked by and you turned and said something like "never do drugs" and then went in the house?
I did. I went, kids don't do meth, and I went right inside.
And yeah, that was that. You know, that's the kind of shenanigans that end up.
We need to have a little mini web series called just the story of the brown pants.
Well, what I've wanted to do is kind of do like a The Office kind of scenario where we do a sitcom where we essentially play ourselves as the behind the scenes, so people can see the behind the scenes of us just making these things.
Well, just so our viewers know, the brown pants, I honestly had lost my brown pants that week.
Which now your doctor wears brown
My
pants.
doctor wears brown pants.
See, it all
Holmes lost the
ties
pants,
together.
and the doctor took the pants.
And
Attention.
then
all-
Holmes refound the pants.
Yeah, he found the pants, even though
And
Watson
then
would
he had-
claim they're not brown.
And then he had to find that diamond.
Yep.
Well, we've joked that randomly we'll just have Justin Sherlock walking down the street. The TARDIS will just appear. The Doctor will come out and just chuck the brown pants at Justin as Sherlock, and then just be like, "There you go!" And it's like, now that's fixed. And then run back in the TARDIS, disappear.
I must right this wrong.
And then all of a sudden, Justin's just like, "I must figure out what this is. It is my life's mission."
What I like really a lot is that every time we show brown pants, the pants are never brown.
They're never brown. They're always tan.
They're always tan.
But they're his brown pants.
yeah. So
Yeah, they work.
the story of the brown pants continues. Anyways, all right. So back to Doctor Who. You were saying the ice.
The Ice Warriors.
Yeah.
It's only a Ice Warrior, and what I really wanted to do with it was one of my favorite episodes of the Doctor Who show is called Blink. And in the episode, you don't see the Doctor very much, and it's focused on other characters. No offense, Ben. And I wanted to write a story that was, kind of the Doctor's there, but not really a part of the main story. So that's what I kind of went off of, and it turned into what it turned into was a story about the companion,
I
Megan.
like that.
So it focuses on her. It's about the Doctor, and he's trapped in the TARDIS, flying around trying to get to where Megan, the companion, is, and Megan's trying to survive on Mars in the future, and that's where she meets our Ice Warrior.
So you mentioned it. The Doctor has two companions this time around.
Two companions.
And one is Rachel, and the other one is Sam playing.
Megan, who's the primary companion, and then Sam is playing Karen.
And they're awesome too.
Oh,
by the
they're
way.
Oh, they're great. They're great.
They're great. And I can't say enough about Rachel playing Megan. It's great. When I read Justin's script and it gave her so much life as a character, I said this is what this needs. That's why I've wanted it to be the second episode of the season, is because it really gets into her character as a whole, and it's fantastic. And they just play people who are looking for more in life, because ultimately I always saw the Doctor as a mentor who can take you and show you a new perspective on life, and that's really what Rachel's character of Megan and Karen really need is kind of like that role model figure that you would picture an internship working out where you're under somebody else.
So did you have any quote unquote inspirations when writing these characters?
Honestly, I just always had a picture in my head of if I were to write for the BBC, what would I write? And these were the characters that came to mind. And there was an emphasis on the show Criminal Minds for Karen as a character, as Penelope Garcia in...
Yes.
As
Which
a
one's that
character.
She's the tech chick.
The one with the glasses?
the one in the
Yeah,
chair.
blonde one.
Okay, I know her.
And I just really like strong female characters in the show and everything. And Doctor Who has always been known to have some very uniquely strong female characters and very strong, just strong characters in general, and think outside the box. And I wanted to make those companions that you feel like you would know in real life. I don't want them to be a cartoon character. I'd always have to stop myself if a character became too cartoonish.
And see, I really like how you've been writing them too, because given the name Doctor Who Shattered Time, you kind of need to start putting the pieces back together. And like you were saying, though they are strong female leads, they're also helping with the general story of the Doctor putting the pieces back together.
Yeah.
They're both written very well.
They ultimately want to help, and they're along with him in the trenches, and they're not afraid to go back. And at times they do have to address that. This is nuts. We're traveling with some stranger through space and time, and that's kind of creepy when you think about it.
Just kind of because I'm behind the scenes mostly, quote unquote. You and Rachel play really well off each other. Like, you guys are like enjoying what you do, and it shows on screen.
Well, the biggest thing is, for Rachel and I, this is really a passion project. We're just doing it because we want to help Scott, and we like where this project is going. On top of that, outside, behind the cameras, outside of it, she and I are I won't say great friends, but we're getting there. We're talking, small talk on set, seeing how everyone's doing. We talk outside. Right. And with a lot of Scott's crews, the major part of how we play well with each other, like you and I in Bro Code, is we're friends first. We're coworkers second.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that we all become a friend group in my productions. I always am determined that I'm not going to force everyone to be like, be friends.
Like,
but
it's better to, like, get along with that person in a personal aspect rather than business aspect.
Yeah, it just kind of happens
and
organically.
And it shows on camera, like, the chemistry.
And I also want to establish, I think we need to give a lot of credit to Samantha as Karen with you. You guys also play off each other very well.
Sam and I were friends long before we met on set, and basically she is the person I will go to talk politics. So... for those of you who have watched many of our shows, Scott and I will get into it.
Well, we agree like 75% of the time.
Exactly. And
that other 25%.
And the other 25.
That's you and me. Yeah.
Sam and I, we'll get together during election time and just talk about the situation, because she and I are very uninvolved. So we have an outside perspective from both sides, and we just like talking about it, and that's how we became friends, is just politics talk.
That's actually how she and I became friends as well, was through politics.
She's very open.
And she's awesome. She cosplays in her spare time, right?
Yes, she does, professionally
be sure
even.
to check out Sam and Rachel on their social media. Sam is really big on the cosplay scene, and Rachel's a photographer, right?
She's an amazing photographer.
Amazing
Right,
photographer. Yeah, she's great. And it's like everybody has their own creative strength in our groups, and they all kind of complement each other. And I just have to say, I feel bad, though, because we have our massive, with the Ice Warrior episode, the surface of Mars, and the Doctor is not even really in it. And it's like this massive surface of Mars episode. It's so great. We have like these like bands of like these wild men people, and it's just like, it's so epic.
So disclaimer, fully, I still don't know anything about Doctor Who. It's just, I want you to understand that, so that's why I'm not feeding off that.
Well, yeah, it's just, it's such all of the episodes. I was actually surprised. When I told Justin to write the episode, I said, do not hold back on account of our budgetary restrictions. Do not think about that for a second, because the second you do that, you withhold a story you really want to tell.
Right.
So when I'm writing the stories, I'm not going to say we can't realistically do that. There's scripts we've scrapped that are great that we just say we can't shoot that now, but we have that story for when we can.
So speaking of those stories, which I'm sure you'll be writing more of in the future, like, what do you think the episode count's going to be?
I believe we're talking 7 episodes?
7 ideally. So for those of you watching, we have a cumulative 120 hours left before I am off the ground that I have available for Scott. And that's all going to go to...
You're going back to school.
I'm going back to school. I will be back Christmas and or May.
I will say right now, this year, there is no plan to do a Christmas special, because that's a Doctor Who tradition, is a Christmas special. There's no tentative plan to do a Christmas special yet, because we do not know when we're releasing Doctor Who itself. Because Shattered Time, we all agreed that we would not rush it out for the sake of we need to just make it and put it out. Right. So it's one of those things, we don't know if it'll be out by Christmas, but I can say that provided you guys like it and we do go forward with a season 2, there will be a Christmas special at that point.
Yes.
But this year there most likely will not be.
So it's probably fair enough to say that I think Holmes will come out before Doctor Who.
Most definitely.
Guaranteed.
So look out for that on Meteor Fist Films. Before we go into our first commercial break, I want to just talk more about Who.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, just as lightly as possible. I know you guys heard the whole
Here we go.
BBC Doctor Who thing. And all you have...
Justin, I just want to let you know that we're bros after this. I'm sorry.
Can I go? Can I go first?
Clean. Ben, clean.
Clean. I feel that the casting of the Doctor on the level of casting a qualified actress has not done the Doctor any harm. I believe she's a wonderful actress and she will do a great job as the Doctor. Now,
The other side of that coin.
the other side of that coin is if the Doctor Who show, which I love, which teaches us how we all need to overcome adversity and work together and not resort to violence, becomes something different because the wishes and or intentions of the writers have changed from the original message. I believe she is a poor choice on two fronts. A, she will now be the face that destroyed Doctor Who, and that will ruin her career. Two, if for whatever reason they go very strong in a certain message line, I don't believe she's a strong enough person to be the face of that message.
Okay. Well, let's keep it one at a time here. So,
Okay.
Justin,
Okay.
your thoughts?
Generally speaking, I don't care. Because when they announced that Capaldi was going to be the Doctor, my first reaction was, well, who is Capaldi? I had a similar reaction. I don't know who this person is. I haven't seen any of their work, but it's Doctor Who, and I need to give it a chance. I'm always going to give Doctor Who a chance at anything, whether when they throw a wrench in the works. Oh, hey, let's see what happens. I'm going to give it a chance before I make a full judgment. I mean, I respect what Ben says. I do, and it's something that I could generally agree with. But I'm going to withhold any judgment I have until the new season.
Scott.
Okay. I want to say first off, you have seen her in Attack the Block.
I've seen that movie once, maybe.
But I just want to start with my statement real fast. I have nothing against Jodie Whittaker. I think Jodie Whittaker is a very talented actress. If you watch her in Broadchurch, she's incredible in the show. But she plays kind of the same role in everything. I don't think she's a good fit for the Doctor. If that makes sense, she can be a talented actress, but I don't think she's a good fit for the Doctor. And my issue with it is you can tell that they're doing it for a ratings boost, and they're doing it as a gimmick. And they've already been marketing it as such because they did that with Bill for a little while. Even though Bill was great as a companion, they did market Bill as gay. And so they kind of and we've already, Ben and I have discussed this before, and they're definitely using it as a gimmick. It does change the character as a whole and the dynamics of the show, which could be compromising as a whole. And that's where I take issue, is because they're not looking out for the show. They're doing it purely to say, well, look, here come the ratings. And I don't think it'll affect positively with the ratings. And she's already had a difficult time accepting that people are not happy.
Well, there you go. There's everyone's opinions as clean as possible. That's the way we do it here on GS Talks. We'll be right back after this. Let me tell you about what the craze is going around the world. It's scooters. Stingray scooters. This all-new Stingray scooter is all about the rad speed and the sick tricks you can pull off. This baby weighs in at 5 pounds, has an aircraft-grade aluminum T-tube and deck with a rear fender brake as well as adjustable handlebars. What have you been doing with your life lately? Playing video games? Surfing the internet? No! You gotta get yourself a Stingray scooter. The Stingray scooter allows you to pull off some wicked tricks, but if that ain't your style, pick up some speed and just cruise along the streets. I don't think you have what it takes to ride one. So join the rest of the world, pick yourself up a Stingray scooter, and join your friends and become the coolest kids on the block. So what are you waiting for? Get yours today. Welcome back to GS Talks, everybody. We're being weird here.
Why not?
It's what we do.
I was leading.
Before we took a break, we took a long break because we had to get off that BBC Doctor Who
We
talk.
continued to talk about it for a while, and it was a pretty healthy dialogue. No
I
one
have
was
no
punching
opinion,
each other.
So it really doesn't matter.
Long story short, we don't know what we don't know.
And we're gonna find out. And
Get a live camel in here and see what happens.
Yes.
I was going to say, if you want to dislike my video on MP27 reviews of my initial reaction of finding out Jodie Whittaker was the Doctor, because I did do that, had to actually recut some of it because
I haven't seen that.
my girlfriend was like, I will literally break up with you if you release that. It is so inappropriate, because I had a very knee-jerk reaction at the beginning of it.
I know, because you blew up my phone all day about it
Like
while I was
38
filming something else.
I know you. Why didn't you drop that for us? We want to hear about it.
Hey, I forgot that the song you're listening to is Timothy Lamb, Trash 80.
Trash 80.
The song is Cascadia, so go check that out. Not
Every
Cascadia.
time we
Not
touch,
Cascadia.
I get this feeling, and every time we kiss,
This is
I
your
think
fault,
that
Chris.
I can fly. Can't you hear my voice beat fast?
Your
Chris,
voice
that-
beats fast.
You know, I hate.
I want this
You have
to
a take.
last.
Neither of you really got those lyrics right, so
You have
don't
a take
start
on-
judging,
You have a
Ben.
take on Holmes University 5 of Jess and you singing that song.
Yes.
I must see this.
Na, 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 na.
Oh God, Scott! I found the video of Dance Central. It's on my laptop.
Don't you dare! You son of a mother's lover!
Hey, let's go into that. Let's explain that story real quick.
No,
Oh,
we're
no.
not.
No.
Long story short,
There is not. I'm sorry, but I do not confirm nor deny these instances happened. There is no.
He just confirmed.
I represent Scott Accord, and he does not confirm
I
or
have to
deny
say,
this
the
video's
only thing that
existence.
came of that night is Ben Lord signed a permanent contract with me that he would work on any project I need him to.
and on the other side of that, I am Scott's first choice for everything. So Scott, when you're watching this, when you're big and successful, I do want to work with Robert Downey Jr.
But he doesn't like you.
Doesn't matter. I have the I have the contract. It's notarized.
It is an official contract,
His
which
lawyer has it.
which means when we decide to do our own reboot of some other TV show, because now that we've done Sherlock Holmes, we've done Doctor Who.
Well, what do you want to do next?
Kung Fu Cats.
I don't
What
know.
is Kung Fu Cats?
Kung Fu Cats.
NCIS Ben Lord?
I won't do that because I respect that show too much.
It is a good show.
It's a great show. Mark Harmon's amazing.
Mark Harmon.
Anyways, segment.
Holmes.
Holmes.
I want to talk about Broco real quick because before we got into weird stuff, Ben and I have been in 2 Brocos together. I've done 3 altogether.
Well, I
and-
thought we had 4 total.
No, we had 3 total. Okay, so you laugh at that. We actually did do a 4th one, which Scott decided it was not up to par, which I agree.
It was so unreleasably bad that I literally said I told Chris, I
get this
called him
straight.
up and said, you can stop being friends with me. I am not
he'll
releasing
release
this.
Electrosic 4, but you won't release that Broco.
Oh.
That's how bad it was.
Wait. He released Demo Dawn. Why wouldn't he release what we
Demodon
released?
was a passion
Demodon
project.
was amazing, sir.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Which actually, real quick though, I do want to say, because I realized that we did have to cut some stuff, is that I was watching this film called Free Fire the other day, and it is straight up. They literally took the plot of Bro Code, and it is a 90-minute movie, and it is about a group of friends who are doing an arms deal that goes south due to some things that happen that would be a violation of the Bro Code, and then that is the 10 minutes of setup of a 90-minute movie. The rest is a firefight with literal scenes taken from our stuff.
So what you're telling me is if we keep making Bro Code, we'll keep making Hollywood movies.
Exactly.
Essentially, yes.
So we need to do one. We need
we'll
to do
get
one
there.
more before.
We'll get there.
You
And I
leave.
want Justin in
Justin
the
needs-
next Bro
You're
Code.
invited to the Bro Code.
Oh, joy. Sure, why
I
not?
always like that the Bro Codes have some sort of like hidden truth behind it, like personally behind us. Like the first,
Have you dated her?
no, she
Dated
yeah.
who? Who have I dated?
And if I
What do
may,
you know about
if I
me?
may, on the Electro 6 4 thing,
Too
on
much.
the releasing of that, that is
terrifying,
not
Ben.
Electro 6's fault or the story, because I could
know,
release the script publicly.
We've explained this many
but
times. I know this story.
somebody,
That was when Scott and I had our little tiff, and I went to school.
one of them,
Was Electrosic 4 during Holmes University?
No.
It was before.
it was before.
Before
It
we-
was right before.
Yeah.
But no, it was actually a scheduling thing. David was one of the main catalysts
Let's
for
not-
what
let's
went
not
wrong.
rat on people.
No, I'm not going to rat on people, but I'm just saying because everyone gives me crap for it, but the story itself actually
I
worked.
just don't think you should have released it.
Well, see, this entire thing kind of reflects how we're friends first.
Right.
I mean, if we
Yeah.
have a friendship issue, we're not going to film. Honestly, if Scott and I weren't buddies, I probably wouldn't be on Who right now. It'd probably either be Justin or our secret other actor.
I was going to say there may or may not be other people who were locked in to play the Doctor when I wasn't sure if Ben was going to
But
do
there's
it.
video proof out there saying way before ahead of time that Ben was going to be the Doctor.
That was before one of our tips, though. And that goes back to like what I'm saying. We're friends first. That's what
Yeah.
makes all this work. Chris, let's be honest. If we weren't
Justin
friends,
playing
I wouldn't be
Sam
here
the
right now.
I wouldn't do it.
Ouch, guys.
I play either one or the other. I will not play.
There's
both.
actually a role
That's
for
actually very fair, and I understand completely.
in season 2. I'm actually eyeing Justin for a role, and Ben and I have talked about it. That if it works, it will be so awesome. So go watch Doctor Who Shattered Time when it comes out, because seriously,
No release date yet.
I really hope season 2 happens because of a thing that I want to set up.
I have no idea what they're talking about. I just want to go on record and say I have no idea what they're planning. So, and
Just-
I have agreed to nothing.
Just think about it. I wear the brown pants.
Oh, there you go. Now, while they're whispering, we're gonna kind of go into it back into Who altogether. So I want to so the vibe on set for Doctor Who Shadow Time is definitely a lot different than when you and I did Holmes. Even though, how would you describe? I mean, obviously we're a lot better than what we did. What?
It's a
4
well-oiled
years ago.
machine
Yeah.
now.
Well,
It is a
it's-
well-oiled machine.
It's well because everyone who wants to be there wants to be there basically and wants to get it done. And,
But
that
it's
kind
like
of
we,
thing.
we all know what we need to do to get it done, and then
Right.
we say, okay, this is how it's going to work. And that was actually one thing that caught you off guard, that you commented when we shot the first episode. It was like, wow, this is way different than we were shooting Holmes.
It is. When we first shot Holmes, it was, 30 minutes long? It took us, 4 weeks?
The first Holmes movie was 15 minutes long.
No, it was only like 15. I mean, technically, if you want to say there's a director's cut floating out there somewhere, it'd go up to like 25. But
I actually jokingly
it-
said that I want to redo the first 2 with Justin.
it took
No.
I'd say about 4 weeks to shoot.
That's because of the other thing.
I have no idea what you're talking
What
about.
are we talking about? Who knows?
I have no idea what we're talking about, but it. Oh.
Apparently,
I
they
still don't
know
know.
something. I don't.
I'm with you.
I actually. No, I.
But
I
like I
don't.
was saying, the vibe on Who.
Just use your imagination.
Imagination.
Oh, I do all the time.
Oh boy. GSTV does not support imagination.
Well, there you go.
It's a horrible thing to say. It's like we don't support imagination.
So I know who you support for Kent Mayor. That is not
Eat
Dana
a
Ralph.
grape.
So
I see what you did there.
yeah. So
Support.
support Dana Ralph. I'm making my public endorsement to her again. She's great. She wants to help build up. We've talked so much about just like art and culture in Kent.
Yeah,
It's
you've
great.
talked to me a few times about some of the plans y'all doing, and I'm pretty.
Once again, GSTV Studios does not support, endorse, or support.
Well, he's not
really
even in Kent.
anything.
Yeah,
He doesn't live in Kent,
live
so
in
it doesn't
Kent.
apply.
in Newcastle. We're
and
fine.
I live in Everett. So
out there.
Fair Hood.
So, anyways, with Doctor Who, back to it being a well-oiled machine.
Oh God, yeah. When we did the first episode, Sherlock Holmes took 15 minutes for the entire show. It took us 4 weeks to film.
Did it really?
It
Yeah.
did. This one took us maybe a total of 16 hours over 4 days. It was boom, 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 boom. We're done.
And what I'm liking
Yeah.
is that, I want to start bringing to the table with Holmes is that you guys, because it's such a short script, so it's easy to memorize. But
No, the scripts are about like 14 pages each.
Average, yeah.
Yeah, give or take.
It is, and unlike when I was doing Sherlock, it's a lot less ad lib. We're actually following the script. I'm so excited.
well, that's a whole nother topic.
that's a whole other topic that I'm not going to get into.
Which
right
actually, I have to say that
'Cause I have my opinions on that.
I say that I love both Holmes University and Doctor Who. I won't say one is better than the other, but what Justin even talked to me about it is that I have this massive passion for Doctor Who that's so beyond most people that it's like I know those characters so well that writing
And I'm
Doctor Who
surprised,
comes more
if
naturally.
you're more naturally Doctor Who that you haven't done Doctor Who first before Holmes University.
Yeah, well, it's I
You
didn't
haven't
feel
had
like
the
we were
technology,
ready.
bro.
Yeah, I didn't
You
feel
haven't
like
had
we were
the
ready.
equipment to
That's
do any
true.
of
I guess
this.
that's true.
We could barely just do Holmes, much less
But we do it
sci-fi
well.
traveling,
We're
time
5
traveling
films,
alien.
We're about to be 5 films deep in now. We've got the format down pretty well.
Well, yeah, we've gotten it down
And we
now,
keep
but in the
changing
beginning.
it to the better. But again, off topic with Doctor Who.
But it's like when Justin read my first script, because he actually read it before Ben did, and it was and he was like, yeah, you well, I won't take words out of your mouth, but you basically said that I write Doctor Who more naturally than I do.
That's exactly what I said, because I automatically noticed that your dialogue was a lot better.
Yeah.
Because I give Scott a lot of crap when we're filming Holmes,
One
about
writer
his
to another.
from one writer to another about his dialogue when we're filming Holmes, which is why we have to do a lot of ad-libbing, which I have no issues with. I have no problem ad-libbing. But his dialogue is just sometimes really ridiculous and far-fetched, or it's just the way it's structured, and it just drives me crazy.
But I didn't understand because you're in the moment. You want to like say what you want to say, but
with Doctor Who,
do-
it seems like
Yeah, go ahead.
it's you know what you want to say, and it just you seem that you have a clear vision
It
of
comes
what
out
you
better.
want. Yeah, and it comes out better.
And the beauty of Doctor Who is that if you ask me, every script I've written has become the best script of that season. So it's like now all of a sudden, oh, I wrote episode 1, now I'm on to episode 2. Episode 2, best script. Wow, that one was way better. Now episode 3, boom. It's like it's always improving.
Well, also the other thing is it's really reflecting your development as a director. When we started Sherlock Holmes, it was okay, script, go, and you were just starting the art.
Well, because it started as a school project that they told me they weren't even sure if we could do, and we said, well, fine, we'll prove you wrong.
Exactly, but now when you're directing, we're out filming. I walk out and you go, Ben, this is what I want from you, and then I'll run with an idea.
Yeah.
Which matches up with the following script. Our biggest issue with Sherlock Holmes 1 is I would take the script an entirely different direction that you intended, and then the dialogue down the road didn't match up because I'd be angry when you wanted me to be sad, I'd be happy when you wanted me confused, and everything worked out in the end, but it's not what we wanted from the script.
And that comes down to basically with your direction and his acting and your acting and my acting all together, different series altogether. But is it? I'm kind of segueing here. It doesn't lead entirely different. Is it exciting to see your projects, being Holmes and Who, come to life almost?
Yeah, it's always exciting to see it come to life. That's why I do it. I love having an idea in my head and saying, I want to make that. And then going out there and saying, well, you know what? I'm going to make it. No one's going to tell me I can't make it. So I love seeing that happen, especially with the quality. And you can see it develop and grow over time. And especially with like Holmes University, how much it's evolved. And Doctor Who, I'm so excited to see how that evolves over time. And there's other projects that we've talked about that we haven't seen in a while, and it's going to be exciting to see that stuff come forward.
We haven't done anything as far as the MP2 universe, which we'll have to rename at some point.
Yeah, our cinematic universe of stuff that we've done growing up.
How long since we added a...
Y'all been talking about that for a minute.
Yeah.
And y'all talk about it, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think the last thing we did was
Electrosic 4.
Electrosic 4.
It was, and at that point I'd started smoking, and we were using that as part of the script as I would go out and smoke, and we use it as a clincher.
Do you remember the I thought the last thing we did was the last scene for Unstoppable.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
But no, Electrosic 4 came after
Oh,
that.
I thought it was before. Okay.
Still, that scene we did, though, that was 6 years ago. I was 19. I'm 25 now.
It's a long time. We've talked about revisiting that universe.
So I kind of want to go into that. So starting, I'm going to say post Demo Dawn, how you feel like your style, not so much style, but like the way you do things changed?
I think everything's changed. If you look at from when we first started shooting that stuff to where we are now, it is a whole entire different thing.
How about this? How about starting from Holmes University up to now?
Holmes
Because
University,
Holmes University was like that was the change.
yeah, I'd say that was the dividing mark, but it's totally different now. I mean, we're with Doctor Who, we're shooting a lot more content than you would anticipate. It's all different. We're shooting it much more cinematically, and it's less about how can we pull this off. It's more we're gonna do this.
Well, also that on top of that, we've all changed as people. I've gone through how many girlfriends since then? I've graduated. I've moved on to different things, and the one thing that's always held true is we come back to your films.
Yeah, that is true. Anytime anyone's had a rough time, they come back. They always come back.
It's like a home from away from home almost.
It
seeing
is, and-
you, seeing Justin.
Which, by the
again.
way, that is why Irene Adler got recast. I just want to say, since Ben is here, we can confirm that is why Irene Adler got recast.
Yes, Irene Adler was my girlfriend at the time.
Let's not go too far into it.
He's just giving generals.
Okay.
It's just generals. Marissa Muraric, and we really wanted to bring her in to what we were doing here because this is a big part of my life, and I want everyone I love to be a big part of it. We had my cousin come in to help shoot some Doctor Who.
That is right.
My little brother's going to come in to be a voice coach for one of our episodes of a thing we're doing.
Nice.
And everything is really just coming to a point now where we become actors because of our situation. We come back and bring our experiences to Scott's filming.
Yep, and also no dissing on Marissa. She's in radio now, and she's doing very well for herself, and I'm proud of her. And it's like one of those things, we're all just happy to be here, happy to help, and we become a community, and people come and go, which is why maybe one day Angela will come back as Jack Driscoll. I don't know.
We'll
But
see.
you never know.
Sadly, we're almost out of time. We got a minute left before the run out of memory, so we're going to wrap things up right here. Be sure to like and subscribe to GSTV Studios. This is GS Talks. Scott, plug your channel real quick.
MP27 Reviews and Meteor Fist Films.
Holmes University 5, watch when it comes out. And Doctor
Yes,
Who
sir.
Shattered Time is coming soon. Can't wait for you guys to see that. So with that, we say goodbye, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace out, guys. Love you guys.